surviving, recapping Love Island season 8. I just wanted to have a good time, but I got stuck witnessing, stupidity, bird brain activity, disrespect, somebody being named Sincere being everything but the meaning of his name, um, people's wigs being lifted up to the ceiling, like people having leave out. Like, I went through a lot, and now it's time to share my story. But before we get into that story, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Pretty Lynn, and this is Pretty Lynn Sovereignty. So today we are going to get into what's reality TV. We're going to talk about this snooze fest of an episode, which is episode 2. See, I even forgot the episode number. Episode 30 of Love Island season 8. And when I tell you, like, I was literally on my phone, on Twitter and TikTok, like, the whole episode. It's bad because, like, usually I like to stay away from social media when I'm watching episodes because they ruin it for me. But I was just like, look, at this point, I don't care for it to be ruined for me. Like, I'm honestly just over this episode. Like, can it be over? Like, it was so boring. And I'm just like, honestly, like, I'm kind of over this season. Like, something has to give at this point because I'm just getting disappointed left and right. Like, at this point, I had to wake myself back up because it was just so sleep. It was so boring. Snooze fest. If you are true here, then that means you are a returning member, which you have a special place in my heart because y'all are people who like the video, who are subscribed, who have that, the post notification bell on. That way, every time a video drops, you jumping in on there and you liking and you commenting, and I appreciate y'all so much. New crew, y'all gonna eventually become true crew. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But let's not waste any more time and get into this video. So the episode starts off with Kayda and Zach having a conversation about how, they're so shocked that they're at the bottom, and Kayda emphasized like why not Casey and TT, even Carl and Anaya, like I love them so much, but like why not them, the newer couples? Like we've been together since day 3, and these newer couples, for some reason, they were ranked higher than us. Like, I'm just not understanding why them and not us. Kayda, I'm with you when you're right, and I have been with you when you've been wrong. But what I'm not gonna rock with is you being disrespectful and weird. Like, instead of like trying to figure out what's wrong with all the other couples, why don't you try to lock in and figure out what's wrong with your current couple? You know what I'm saying? Like, why point out like, oh, they've been together shorter than we have. We've been together since day 3. Melanie's Sincere, they even had more issues and arguments than us. Like, instead of comparing yourself to those couples, why not compare you and Zach's dynamic to how it was at the beginning? To try to figure out where you guys are falling short. I just didn't like your approach to the conversation, and I do understand that you're human. You're going through emotions, you're processing things. You can't see what America sees, so I understand like you might have some frustrations, but like don't ever, make that make you ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like you're beautiful on the outside regardless, but don't let it rot your inside just because you're just not understanding things at the end of the day. Kinsey and Dylan have a conversation about, how they're grateful to still be here, and how they enjoy their performance with each other. And, just they pretty much just kept talking about how they were just grateful to be here. Casey and Titi have a conversation. And, of course, they are super shocked still and excited at the fact that they're still here because they thought they were about to be packing their bags and that it was their time to go, but they actually were voted top 4 couples, so they were just like, what? Still shocked about that. And they were just saying like, we thought America, well, TT was like, I thought America hated us, and Casey was like, they probably still do, but it's probably they see that we're compatible at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, the vote was who's the most compatible couple, not who's the most popular person that's matched with somebody else. It's who's the most compatible couple. A lot of these couples have not been compatible as of lately, at least from what the viewers can see. I feel like people, they lose the plot and they try to vote based off of who they love and like. Granted, I was that person. I can be guilty. I was that person. But at the end of the day, I feel like y'all need to put Friendship Island aside. Y'all need to put freaking popularity contests aside and actually vote for the people who you feel like are the most compatible. Whichever couple that is to you is upon you. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just saying, just make sure when you're voting for who you think is the most compatible. Because that's literally what the whole purpose of Love Island is, okay? And then on to horrible news, in my opinion. Melanie and Sincere, they have a conversation in Soul Ties, and pretty much, Melanie is thinking that America loves them together. If America thinks that they love them together, baby, I'm not in America. Let me go. I'm somewhere else. I'm across the world. I'm not a part of that community that loves out together. Melanie, I love you by yourself. And I would love for you to find somebody, I would love for you to find healthy love. Like, y'all romanticize and praise toxic love too much when there's more than that. You can have it all. And if not all, you can have 80% of it all. But the fact that you're freaking like settling at freaking 15 when you can have 80, like, come on. And then it pans over to Zach moping in the bed about, everything good. Good. I used to pray for times like this, for you to be in the bed moping and reflecting on all the horrible decisions and comments and freaking playing devil on somebody's freaking shoulder. It's about time that you paid for that in some type of way. Whether it's just, lowering your ego or something, like ego death or something. It's about time that this took place. Took long enough, in my opinion, but I'm glad that it finally came. Kayda and Trinity then have a conversation, and pretty much, they were just like, "Oh, we're so confused. We're so confused by the vote. This is that and the third. Like, what are they seeing in them and not in us?" And like, honestly, I don't know. I'm just not like rocking with that. At the end of the day, right? America sees majority of the conversations, whatever. Of course, production can paint everything the way they want to paint it because they can show us whatever they want to show us, and they can withhold whatever they want to withhold. Mind you, they withheld everything interesting this episode. There was nothing interesting like that this episode, so keep that in mind, okay? But like, America was able to see Carl and Naya's connection, their private conversations, and their chemistry. They were able to see TT and Casey's dynamic and their conversations and their chemistry. They saw you and Zach together, you and Zach separately. All the private conversations that he was having and you were having. They've seen it all. So at the end of the day, like, y'all are missing the plot. Y'all are thinking that because of what y'all tell y'all friends to each other, that like that should be enough leeway to like, America loving y'all too, but no, that's just what y'all friends see and what you decide to tell them. But America sees almost everything that they decide to show. So I don't know. And then Zach, him and Bryce have another conversation, whatever. And he's just like, he just doesn't know what to do. Like, he's just really beat up about, them being at the bottom and thinks it's his fault or whatever. Granted, it is his fault because it is your fault. Anywho, and Bryce was mentioning to him about like, have you thought about making her your girlfriend? Like, maybe that can help as well. And I'm just like, so Bryce, was that the whole reason why you made Trinity your girlfriend? Was that like a publicity stunt? Like, I don't know. I don't know. This episode, again, like, if you've been watching my reviews since the beginning, I've been kind of back and forth about being like a Trinity fan, because it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I love seeing, them yearn for each other. This is down the third. then he'll do some weird stuff with Bryce, or he'll let Bryce get in his ear, or he wants to go explore this. And it's like, honestly, I don't know. It just puts, like, he just does weird and small and subtle things that puts a bad taste in my mind. And it just makes it seem like he's just not as authentic as he's trying to put off. And I don't know. I just don't like that. But, Zach said, if all that, nah. I haven't had a girlfriend in 3 years, and she ain't about to break that cycle yet. I don't know. I know he was talking about he haven't had a girlfriend in 3 years, but have you had a boyfriend in 3 years? In those 3 years, you not trying to go back that way? Like, catch us up to speed. Let us know all the details, okay? If you're gonna let us know a little bit, let us know all of it, okay? I haven't had a girlfriend in 3 years, but oh gosh, my edges is crusty. But and then you see Kenzie, she's also having the same like conflicted, like puzzling thought about like the vote, and her and Dylan being at the bottom was just like, and I didn't even choose Carl. He was like a second choice. So like I'm just surprised that they voted them as one of the top 4 couples. And guess what, Kenzie? I'm surprised you're still here. But hey, I digress. And then Bryce has a conversation with Zach, and he pretty much tells him, like, hey, like, I forgot to tell you, but like, me and Trinity, we kind of had like a, and then Zach was like, a hideaway moment or whatever. And then he was just like, yeah, we were just super close. Like, it's like he still didn't want to say, like, yeah, we did it. We're like, yeah, it was good. Like, we did it. Like, granted, not everybody's like that. Not everybody likes to be that open about their, sexual life or whatever. But it's just weird how Zach literally immediately said, but I saw it before her. I saw it before her. And Bryce is like, yeah, exactly. I didn't like that. I did not like that at all. I did not like that. So what you trying to one up her? What you in a competition with Trinity for? And then, night ends, everybody's all lovey-dovey in the bed. Same old, same old. Next morning, Melanie has a conversation with TT, and she's like, TT, were you surprised by like, being saved yesterday or whatever, or the vote or whatever? And TT was like, yeah, I'm actually very surprised or whatever. I wasn't expecting that. And then Melanie was like, I was expecting it. She's like, I feel like you two are very compatible. And then instantly, like, I guess that triggered something in Kayda, or maybe the way they edited it, it made it seem like it triggered something in her. And she just started crying, was just like, America hates me, bro. America hates me. And, Melanie was telling her, like, hey, like, I think you're overthinking it. Like, I think you're just overthinking it, whatever you're getting to in your head. Like, stop overthinking it or whatever. And Kayda, she was just letting it eat her up. She was saying she don't care, but it's like, it's giving that you care. So which one is it? And then TT, she pulls like Melanie, not TT, Kenzie. She pulls Melanie, TT, and it's somebody else. I can't remember right now. But she pulls him, I think Trinity. Yeah, she pulls him and she's like, so if, me and Dylan didn't have immunity, you know, do y'all, and, everybody had to stand behind us to decide who would go home. Like, would me and Dylan have gone home? Crickets. And Melanie was just like, I don't think we should be, talking about that, thinking negatively like that. AKA, yes, honey, you would have had the first freaking suitcase packed with your name printed on the side of it, outside of this freaking villa, onto the next flight, maybe make a pit stop at After Sun, but you would have been the first one out of here if the vote was up to you and anybody else. That's what that meant, Kenzie. Lock in, wake up, okay? Yeah. Producers, do y'all hear that? Kenzie says that she is ready to go home. She misses her family. She wants to see her family. Do y'all hear that? So can y'all please stop coming up with these unique freaking hoops and freaking obstacles to keep her in there? She's ready to freaking split her way up out the doors. Let her go. Let her be at peace, please. And America, please free Melanie. Let her go too, please. And then they all, were like, Titi, we love you. We love you. Hugged up on her. I said, oh. And then Dylan, he goes and pretty much vents as to why, to people that are not Kenzie, as to why he thinks him and Kenzie were so low. At this point, Dylan, I think you need to go home too. I think this show is too much for you and your emotions. And I think that you've had enough and that you should free yourself. Anywho, TT ends up getting a text while she's hanging out with the girlies. And, they pretty much announce that they want the girls to do like a challenge. And it was at this moment that I realized, oh yeah, this is really a filler episode. This is really a filler episode. Like y'all just needed to just get rid of footage. I was just like, oh yeah, this is a filler episode. So they all get these tasks that they have to do without letting the guys know, and they ended up completing them all. I'm not gonna waste time and go too in depth about it, but I was just, oh, cute, boring. Like I was just scrolling through Twitter, TikTok, like again, like when will this be over? Then fast forward, TT pulls Kayda for a chat, and she talks to her about everything, specifically like the vote that happened the night before, and was just like, I'm not gonna lie, like I was shocked with the results, and she's like, you can tell me the truth, Kayda, like were you like shocked too, whatever? And Kayda was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I was. I just didn't really understand where it came from. Like, I feel like everybody has good, everybody's compatible, but I just wasn't expecting to be that low. Whatever. And TT, she tried to kind of like help Kayda get some type of insight. She was like, so I watched the show a little bit before I came in, and it just kind of seemed like the way he was like moving and saying this, that could possibly be what America was seeing, which made them vote the way they did. And then she immediately like dismissed TT and was just like, yeah, but it's okay. I don't care about all of that. All I care about is us. We know that our connection is strong. This is that and the third. And I'm just like, so you've been, Kayda, I love you, but you're losing me. So you mean to tell me that you've been literally crying yourself, well, not to sleep, but you've been crying last night, crying today at the thought of not knowing what America sees, what could be wrong, because you think your connection is just down the third. But when somebody who had a peek of what America saw is trying to help you, understand what went wrong, you're dismissing it. And you don't care now? Like, what? I just didn't get that. And all the girls get ready for that night or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, I love the scene where they were all trying to help Kayda zip her dress up. I'm like, that is so girly coded. Like, I love that scene so much. And Anaya, why don't none of the girls help her with her wig? Like that kind of bothers me so much. Like Trinity, like you ain't got no moves. You can help her with the back of her head. Like I be seeing her like shape up like her wig, in the front, but I never see her touch the back. And I really wish like one of the black girls would like literally help her with the back, like put some product in it, spray it down for her, put some gel on it, put some mousse on it. Shoot, if it's too nappy, cut it up a little bit. Like, why aren't y'all helping her out with that? Y'all just got her going outside like that. Like, I really don't like that at all. I hate, as much as I hate seeing the back of her wig, I hate the fact that they all see that and they're not even trying to help her out a little bit. Like, I just don't, whatever. And then honestly, I'm just gonna summarize the rest of the episode. It's gonna be all over the place, but it's all gonna equal the same thing. Okay, so pretty much Dylan and Kenzie are going back and forth about them not being on the same page. He don't trust her, and she's telling him that she sees him and her on the outside of the world. She's like, literally, it's her trying to sell him a product, and he ain't trying to buy it. Beaten. Go home. Dylan, you need to go home and cry. Freaking Kenzie, go home and split. I'm over it. Goodbye. Go. And then Zach, He really don't want to make Kayda his girlfriend, but he wants to progress the relationship so he can look good to America. So what he does is tells Kayda that, hey, I'm not ready to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but I'm fine with being exclusive with you on the outside of this place. And she instantly smiled and was happy and was like, this is the best day in the villa. The bar is in hell. It's in hell. At least come back to earth. But it's in hell. That man ain't do like a special like date. Nothing with no rose petals, no flowers. Nothing with like a chant like, where's the chivalry? Where is it? This is what you're impressed by? Is this the new generation? What? That's it? That's all he had to say to you? Is it because the accent? Is the accent enough? Is the accent enough? That's what I need to know. Because I don't understand. Like, this man has her so tender. Like, what type of voodoo they do in the UK? What they be putting in them beads and toast? Because I don't get it. That man doesn't do anything like extravagant or extra for you. He does not go out of his way to show you that he loves and cares about you, aside from, giving you some affection from time to time and giving you words. What does he do for you that's romantic? Nothing. Which is why you're telling Melanie that she needed to give Sincere another chance, because he brought her couple roses and some rose petals and made her breakfast like he usually always does. Like, it's not you, girl. It's not you. It's not your life. You're fine. Okay, I'm good now. Just stupid. But yeah, honestly, that's the end of this episode. I was very sleepy because of this episode. And you know what? I'm about to pop my magnesium, do my night routine, and lay my behind down and go to sleep, because this was my bedtime story. But if you made it this far in the video, oh, thanks. You rock with me, I rock with you too. But if you really rock with me, take a look at the like area of this video. Is it like gray or white or whatever? Is it a different color than how it was when you first clicked on the video? If it's not, go ahead and give me a like. You made it this far, you might as well. And if you want to see more videos, just go ahead and subscribe, because at the end of this freaking season, we're going to get into other type of content, okay? We're going to get into the beauty aspect, the hair, the decor, everything like that. I just needed to see how consistent I can be by reviewing Love Island, so we're here. But I do appreciate y'all for tuning in on this video. Go ahead and like, subscribe, ring that bell, comment, talk to your girl. If the sound is bad, let me know so that I can make sure that that never happens again, okay? But again, I do appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Bye.